How can we get more people to join Boy Scouts?
Let them know about it, because I don't think a lot of people really know about it.
They could know about summer camp, anything else like that, popcorn. And at summer camp, some of the food's not the best, but most of it's okay. Last year it didn't rain. Last year I took basketry, climbing, and some other stuff.
At camp, climbing was really fun. You climbed up this wall and it was like this edge.
Some experience that I've had in Boy Scouts is summer camp. We did summer camp and we've gone on polar bears. We did camp out at Hickory Acres Campgrounds, which that wasn't bad. The polar bear we had at Jim Power's house at his back property. It was pretty cold. High adventure, you can go on rocks and that you can jump down 20 feet. And
anything you've learned that maybe you wouldn't have learned if you weren't in Boy Scouts?
Some of the knots that we tie for our ranking, those are pretty cool.
What about all the different rankings that you have to go through? And what you have to learn different things for each ranking? How do you get your rankings?
board reviews. You have board reviews that you have to set up, and then you have to talk with people and they ask questions about like the next rank or the rank that you just did, or you can move on to the next rank.
What's the highest ranking in Boy Scouts?
Eagle.
How do you get your Eagle?
You work through all the rankings.
One of the most memorable things I can remember about scouting that I enjoyed was a 50-mile hike that we took in Porcupine Mountains. We left on a Saturday morning and we hiked for about 5-6 miles before we stopped to break camp on our first day. And it was in the middle of July, and we didn't expect it to get as cold as it did that year, and we weren't prepared for it to be cold. And I was sleeping in a single man tent that I had brought because I wanted to be different. I wanted to carry my own tent, and it got down to 40 degrees that night, and I was pretty cold. But and where we were hiking was right along Lake Superior, and I think on the third or fourth day we actually got to swim in Lake Superior, and it was very surprising how cold Lake Superior is, even in July. I think that water was still only 60 degrees. But that was probably one of the most exciting camps because we had to go in. It was in a state park, so we couldn't build fires, so we had to carry our own fuel to cook on. We had to carry all our food because we didn't have a trailer to bring it into camp or anything. And I learned a lot. I could go out with the right equipment and I could enjoy it and have a good time. And to hike 50 miles. That's quite an accomplishment to do in just 5 days. That's one of my most fond memories of scouting.
My best memory in scouting would have to be the National Jamboree I went to 20 years ago. Picked up some of the hobbies that I enjoy today. Climbing is one of my favorites, as well as photography. I took some photography classes there at Scout Camp. It was pretty exciting to camp with kids from all over the world and all over the country. We traded patches. Spent the day canoeing, going to Williamsburg, Virginia, doing a lot of scouting events with other kids from other troops. And it was pretty exciting to see kids from Canada and England and Australia and every other place. There was a president came to speak. That was pretty exciting. We all got to see the President Bush. He was 39th, Bush. I mentioned the photography. We had a lot of things. We spent the day as handicapped students one day. That was pretty interesting to see something you don't normally do. We all wore bandanas or things to impede our movement for one day, to see how other kids have to live. Some were blind and some were deaf, etc. That was pretty exciting. The activities in scouting, most of them are still among my favorites. I still enjoy kayaking and canoeing. That's one of my favorite things, as well as the out of doors, just camping. I enjoy the winter camping as well as the summer. And I do like long hiking and getting back to nature with no impact campsites. Go in, try not to leave any mark when you leave. That's got to be among my favorites. Some of my best friends in life have been in scouting, and still to this day, some of my closest friends from childhood I'm still close with were Eagle Scouts together and worked our way up from the beginning all the way to the end. So it's pretty fun to grow with the other guys, and now many of us have kids that are just entering the scouting program now, so see what that side has to offer.
First, I have something here that we earned last year for Centennial Quality Award that needs to be attached to our flag. So, Mr. Senior Patrol Leader, if you would do the honors of attaching that to our flag. Where not? Just where not? All right. Okay. A scout takes an oath to do his duty to God and his country. Did you know that before a doctor begins to practice medicine, he takes an oath to always use his skills to try and save lives? Soldiers take an oath to defend our freedoms, and even the President of the United States takes an oath to uphold the Constitution and protect the liberty of this nation. This is nothing new. In ancient Greece, when a young man turned to 17, he took an oath to defend his city, obey the laws, and never bring disgrace by an act of dishonesty or cowardice. An oath is a promise that we make and that we try to keep with all our hearts. Always try to live so that those around you know you have taken the Scout Oath and made it a part of your life. So with that, if there's any other announcements, go ahead and close.
So the Gear Scoutmasters class again, we shall be prepared.
Shall be prepared.
Till then we are dismissed.
We are dismissed.